So have you ever flown Spirit, worked for the airline, even corresponded with someone at the company? Well, some of that data is now headed to Google to help power its AI. Google paying $10 million for Spirit's data. The deal comes after the airline halted its operations in May. And joining me now is Sarah Nelson, the president of the Association of Flight Attendants. And Sarah, we were just talking about it. I saw the headline. I was like, I don't know that I love that. When you see the headline, explain to people what this is and how it's been communicated to former employees, many of whom are still looking for work or in the process of training for work, if they have to worry about something here.
Well, first of all, this wasn't really communicated at all. It was just in a bankruptcy filing, hidden in the middle of a bankruptcy filing Friday night. And we had to make sense of it and put our objection forward, and we were actually successful in getting this pushed back. So the sale is not approved yet. The next bankruptcy court date is September 9th. It was going to go through on August 19th, but we've pushed it back. Because what this says is that even though they say it's going to de-identify the names involved, and there's confidentiality for customers, for employees, all of their data is available. Their employee emails, their tax records, their payroll records, their timesheets. All of this confidential information, frankly, and their disciplinary files. As they're out trying to search for other jobs, these are people who lost everything overnight. Their airline shut down with no notice at all. They had no health insurance, no paychecks. We had to work on getting them their last paycheck. They are still waiting on their vacation and earned sick time and other benefits that they are due. And we're fighting for that in the bankruptcy court. There's nothing left to give out. But this is insult to injury in a time when these workers are really trying to just look for work and then thinking, this is my data. How can you sell this to someone else when I no longer have a relationship with Spirit? Spirit did not make good on its commitment to me. And now you're saying that you're going to take my data and my personal information too when I'm trying to get a job somewhere else?
How much of when your members are, there are a litany of things your members, as you are relaying, are concerned about here. The idea that it's being used to train an AI system or an LLM, how much are you hearing about that aspect of it, given no one really knows exactly what that means at this point?
Well, look, I mean, the very first thing that people are concerned about that we're talking to is their personal data.
Right.
Very, very concerned about that. But also then they're immediately asking the other questions. What does this mean for our future? Is everything just for sale? Are we going to be completely controlled? Are people going to know everything about us? And that's just for sale? All of our personal data, anywhere, anytime? There's a lot of concerns about AI and how this is going to be used and why Google would want this. And I think that, it's the one thing that's sort of interesting is I think about all of those disciplinary files that were handled by HR people. And what Google's really doing is taking this to try to train AI to replace those jobs. So how ironic. But it's very, very concerning across the board. And I think this is something that Americans have to be concerned about. It's very good, actually, that our union is there because there would be no one to object otherwise. Could be employees that would go through this kind of process, and without a union, they'd have no one to stand up for them.
Yeah, I mean, you were just saying you found out about it in a court filing, not that the company or former company or any officials were actually reaching out to you. Do people would say, like, look, these companies have everything on us at this point anyway, consumer data. I think this gets to the specific issues of your members, which is personnel files, work-related issues. What's your biggest concern, and what do you think your next steps are as you try and help out your members?
Yeah, so we're going to continue to fight in the bankruptcy court, and we are saying that the sale should not go through unless this can be made sure that it's completely confidential. We have to be able to ensure that we can track that. Right now, it's an unnamed third party that supposedly is going to de-identify this. There are no assurances whatsoever at all. So if we can get those assurances that this will be completely confidential, then we're not trying to hold up the sale. But we're going to be arguing that, and the next court is September 9th. But beyond that, I think that we have to take this out and we have to think about this in terms of policy, because this is a new terrain that all of us are facing with AI. And we policymakers need to be thinking about this when we're thinking about the kind of guardrails that we need to put on this new industry. And, I work in a heavy regulated industry, and we remain safe because of that. There is an FAA. There should be an FAA agency for AI. And this is one of the considerations that needs to be made.
Sarah Nelson, I really appreciate you coming in. Please keep us posted as we move further into this court case.
Thanks.